Hi, Sarah Childress back with you. I wish I could recommend House of the Dragon, but in the first episode, I'm not finding a lot that compels me to do so beyond Paddy Considine's pretty fantastic performance. I'm finding it to be simplistic, didactic, and predictable, a kind of Game of Thrones for dummies. So instead, I'd like to share my love for another series that premiered this week, which is Bad Sisters on Apple TV+. There were only 2 episodes available, but in those 2 episodes, I'm seeing how the showrunner is using each as an opportunity really to flesh out her characters, to add complexity and dimension to them, to all of them, even the bad guys and the kind of overwhelmed doofuses. And the other thing I'm enjoying about the series is that it's not, and I'll go back to that word again, didactic. The first episode of House of the Dragon I found to be constantly virtue signaling, kind of like dynastic decisions based on patriarchal notions. That's bad. Women suffering and dying under patriarchy. That's bad. Women are warriors in their own way, either through labor pains or by acting like men. That's good or bad? We don't know. I feel like this series treats me like a puppy on a leash, dragging me to a scene of bad behavior, saying, bad, bad. But I'm not a puppy on a leash, and this is pretty well-trodden territory, so I just wonder why it has to be so basic. Bad Sisters also shines a light on patriarchal bad actors and how they negatively impact women's self-worth, opportunities, and possibilities, but it integrates these qualities in all their complexity and subtle kind of subconsciousness into multidimensional characters, who make decisions based on psychological motivations that have been shaped by external factors rather than on external factors themselves. And in fact, maybe that's the difference. In House of the Dragon, the characters all seem like acted upon ciphers. External forces are what seem to compel their behaviors rather than characters manifesting what they've been taught by their social and cultural context and how those shape decisions as they struggle for power in a disempowering world. Heck, even bad guys are disempowered and have their power problems in Bad Sisters, and that's what causes them to act like gaslighting tyrants. But the other thing that's really cool about Bad Sisters and the world that it creates is that this power differential seems to come from almost a, for lack of a better word, like Shakespearean world that integrates tragedy, drama, slapstick, farce, you name it, because this is actually, by the way, a very funny series. But there's also an almost palpable kind of deus, like as in deus ex machina at work too. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's really more like that Greek chorus of gods in the old Clash of the Titans, if you remember that, except it's invisible. But this kind of bigger force that plays with these foolish mortals, it threads its way through these episodes, whether taking form of like a puff of smoke or a coffin strap that breaks. And in doing so, the series gives us a sense of the large invisible forces that can affect us, and also kind of hints that we're all engaged in a farce, whether we know it or not. I hope you check it out.